So, what if the biggest thing holding you back from real success wasn't something out there in the world, but actually right inside your own head? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful philosophy of fearlessness, and you'll see how beating those inner demons, well, it's not just about self help, it's about how you can actually serve the world in the biggest way possible. So, let me ask you something straight up. Take just a second and really think about it. What's that one thing, that barrier, that little voice or feeling that always seems to pop up and stops you from being the person you know you can be?
If you really dig deep, the answer for almost all of us comes down to one single powerful emotion: fear. And we're about to explore a philosophy from a thinker named Ugrishi, who says that fear isn't just an obstacle, it is the central challenge we all face in life.
Okay, so let's talk about this shadow of fear. I mean, if we're going to conquer it, we first have to understand what it even is, right? What is this thing that feels like it's following us around? So here's the thing. This philosophy tells us that fear isn't some big, scary monster out there waiting to get you. Nope, it's a shadow cast by our own minds. And what happens when you shine a bright light on a shadow? Poof, it's gone. In this case, that light, that's just you, turning around and facing whatever it is you're afraid of. But what if we don't? What's the price we pay for letting that shadow run the show? Well, according to this way of thinking, the stakes are, well, they're everything. All right, listen to this. This is one of the core teachings, a real diamond sutra on life. Let those words sink in for a minute. The greatest death. Whoa. What that's saying is, a life lived in fear isn't really living. It's like you're spiritually checked out long before your time is actually up.
It really lays out two totally different paths, doesn't it? The person who lets fear win, they just experience failure and regret again and again. It's like all these little deaths of what could have been. But the brave one, the one who acts even when they're scared, they get to taste what life is really about. They get to truly, fully live.
And when it says greatest sin, let's be clear, we're not talking about some religious rule here. The sin is against yourself. It's about betraying your own potential. Fear is that wall that stands between you and your purpose. It stops you from taking on the challenges that would help you grow into the person you're supposed to become. Okay, so if fear is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it all starts by getting a new perspective on what courage actually is. Now, this next quote is a total game changer. This is so important. We have this idea that brave people don't feel fear, right? But that's just a myth. What this teaching does is it makes courage something all of us can have. It's not about being some kind of superhero who can't get scared. Exactly. Real bravery is feeling that fear. Maybe your hands are sweating, your heart is racing, but you do it anyway. You make that phone call, you walk out on that stage, you have that tough conversation. See, courage isn't a feeling, it's a choice, it's an action. So that raises a pretty big question, right? If courage isn't about not having fear, then where do we find the strength to push through it? Where does that power even come from? The answer, this philosophy says, is all about alignment. It's about connecting with something bigger than just your own little fear. When what you're doing is based on truth, your core values, your integrity, what you know deep down is the right thing to do, suddenly you're not alone in it anymore. And this cosmic power, it's not some weird mystical thing. It's that incredible strength you feel when you stand up for something you believe in, or defend someone, or act out of love. It's like you're plugging into a universal power source that backs you up. And this right here is where it all comes together. This is the whole point of the journey. Because conquering your fear, it's not just some selfish thing you do for yourself. It actually has a massive ripple effect. Just imagine fear is like a thick, dense fog. It makes it impossible to see, right? It clouds your thinking, you can't see where you're going, and everything seems impossible. But when you start to act in spite of the fear, it's like the sun comes out and that fog just burns away. All of a sudden, you can see the path ahead. And those goals that felt so far away, they're right there, totally within reach. This progression is really the heart of it all. It shows you exactly how the work you do on the inside affects everything on the outside. It starts when you conquer your inner fear. That gives you the mental clarity to unlock your real potential. And it's only from that place, when you're operating as your best, strongest self, that you can really, truly serve the people around you, your family, your community, the whole world. That's it right there. Improving yourself is the greatest service you can give. And it's so important we know where these incredible ideas come from. All this wisdom is from the teachings of Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya, a philosopher and social reformer whom many people know as Ugrishi. He spent his entire life helping people find the courage to live with real dignity. And let's end with his final, empowering message, a message directly for you. It's a reminder that you're not small. You're not defined by your fear. You are literally a part of something infinite and powerful. So start living like it. Go out there and be bold. So, I'll leave you with this one last question. After everything we've talked about, what's one small fear, one little shadow that you can make a decision to face today? Because that's where it all starts. Conquering that one shadow is the very first step to living a fearless life. Thanks so much for joining me for this.